How are you guys? Good to see you. Thriver, how are you? Thriver says, I needed me a shirt. Nice, Thriver, nice. Who else is in here? Benny's got a pun. 99 Jar Binks. Space Engineer Eric. Race Everything says game time. That's right. How are you guys? Did you have a good day? That's right. Oh, there I am. I've got to mute myself on my laptop. There we go. What's up, Aaron? What's up, Chris? What's up, Thomas? Good to see everyone here. Did y'all have a good day today? Lenny says, hey, what's up? What's up, Lenny? Banda's Life says cute t-shirt. Thank you, Banda's Life. This is one of the t-shirts that is up for grabs tonight. So hopefully one of you guys will win tonight. Mr. E says, love the N64 shirt. Thank you. I love it as well. I like this really cool faded effect that's going on. And you guys know this is my favorite console, so I wear this shirt with pride. Aaron says, slept till noon. Had a great day. Wow, that's awesome. Sleeping till noon. The best. Did you watch cartoons in the morning afterwards? That'd have been awesome. What's up, Nigel? Nigel says, nice shirt. Thank you, Nigel. This could be yours. This could be yours tonight. Woodage says, N64 and PS1 were the days. I know, right? PS1. I didn't play as much PS1 as I did N64 and SNES and Sega. Those were my jam back in the 90s. But anyway, guys, y'all ready to start 90s trivia? Family game night tonight. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, let's go. If this is your first time here, welcome. If this is not your first time here, welcome back. This is 90s trivia night, and how this will work is I will read a trivia question, and the first person who gets the answer correct on my screen will get a point. And the person with the most points after 5 questions will get to spin this wheel. If you land on this 80sTees tab or this 80sTees tab, you will instantly win one of the t-shirts that I'm wearing today. Otherwise, we will play a mini game. If you win that game, then you will win a t-shirt. Now, the t-shirts that we have up for grabs tonight is this N64 shirt. We've got Go Go Power Rangers. How cool is this design? And we've got, to stand out, the Powerline t-shirt. So one of these 3 can be yours tonight. These are all from 80sTees.com. Kevin, the owner of 80sTees, has been gracious enough to donate these shirts as prizes for our game tonight. So thank you, Kevin. Kevin, thank you. So if you haven't been on 80sTees, definitely go on there. They have literally thousands of nostalgic shirts on there. Go to the search bar, type in any nostalgic thing, and most likely it's going to be on a t-shirt. So definitely check it out. They are amazing. And speaking of these prizes, it's not just the shirts that I'm wearing that you'll get. You'll actually get it shipped from 80sTees. The sizes go from small up to 5XL in some designs. So it isn't the shirts I'm wearing. You'll actually get it shipped from 80sTees, okay? Now, with the 5 questions that I ask, that's just going to be a pattern throughout the night. So 5 questions, spin the wheel. 5 questions again, spin the wheel, and we'll just do that continuously throughout the night. All right? So here's a couple rules. If you're new here, there's no abbreviations. So if the answer is Backstreet Boys, make sure you spell out the full Backstreet Boys. Don't abbreviate to BSB. Last names only are acceptable. First names only are not. Spelling doesn't have to be accurate, but it must sound like the word, okay? So if the word is Seinfeld, don't put an X in there. If you put an X in there, I can't accept it because it doesn't sound like Seinfeld. But if you misspell it and it sounds like Seinfeld, then I can accept that. All right? Now, again, it's the first person who gets it correct on my screen. I don't know why this happens, but sometimes it'll show that you got the answer first before someone else on your screen. I don't know why it does this, but unfortunately, I have to accept what is first on my screen. My screen is the official screen, so just a heads up on that. Also, sometimes people have said that their chat is lagging. If that's the case, I would recommend clicking off of the app and back in. Or some of you have found a hack, which I would like to share with the rest of everyone today, which is some people say that their phone is faster than their laptop. So they'll use their phone to look at me and hear the questions, and then they'll actually use their laptop to type the answer. So they're logged in on YouTube on both their phone and laptop, but their phone is the main screen that they listen to. They turn down the volume on their laptop, and then they type the answer on their laptop because it's a little bit faster than typing with your finger. So there's a lot of different strategies people have out there. So do whatever works best for you. And I think that is everything. Y'all ready for the game tonight? You ready for some 90s trivia? Got your trivia hats on? We've got the crowd here today. Let's go, let's go. Woo, woo. Mike says, I'm ready. All right, let's do it then. Here is the first question. Oh, before we've got the question, Benny's got a pun. Thank you, Benny, for your super chat. Benny's got a pun, says, Tara likes to give attention and care to winners here, but if you lose, she does not give a shirt. There's Benny with his pun again. Thank you, Benny. What a great way to start off this trivia. All right, here we go. First question. What Nintendo hero is the main character in The Legend of Zelda? Who is the main character? Ooh. Blah, 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 blah. Says Link. That is correct. Blah. First person on our board tonight. Good job, Blah. All right. Here is the next question. What Nickelodeon cartoon followed the adventures of a group of babies going on imaginative adventures? What was the name of that show? All right, first to say Rugrats is JF. That is correct. Good to see you, JF. JF is the second point for tonight. All right, here is the next question. What 1997 disaster movie featured the doomed ocean liner and characters Jack and Rose? What was the name of that movie? Oh, Sarah is quick tonight with Titanic. That is correct. Sarah is on the board. Nice work, Sarah. All right, here is the next question. What tennis player dominated the 90s with a powerful serve and volley style of play and won 14 Grand Slam titles? What was his name? All right, first to say Pete Sampras is O-U-S. That is correct, O-U. On the board. Nice work. Now, I can't remember if I mentioned, but trivia will go for an hour tonight. So from 8 to 9 p.m. Central, just to let you know. All right, next question. What rapper recorded the West Coast classic California Love? California Love. Jader says you're right about the phone being faster. Yeah, that's a little hack that some people have picked up on. So I thought I'd share with everyone. Oh, you says I'm a tennis player? Nice, nice. I love playing tennis. Not very good at it, but I love playing. All right, first you say Tupac is blah, 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 blah. That is correct. Now that is the fifth question asked, which means blah. Congratulations, you have won our first round tonight. Oh, where's my audience? There we go, there we go. Give it up for blah, blah. Let's see that fire emoji. Nice work, blah, blah, blah. So blah, 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 what that means is that you get to spin the wheel. If you land on this 80sTees tab or this 80sTees tab, you will instantly win one of these shirts that I have tonight. We've got the N64. We've got Power Rangers, and we've got the Powerline t-shirts. Otherwise, we will play a mini game. If you win that mini game, then you will win a t-shirt, blah, blah, blah. Now, before we spin, Matthew. Thank you, Matthew, for your super chat. Matthew says money. Thank you, Matthew. That is very, very nice of you. Thank you so much for your support. Really, really kind, Matthew. I love it. And Matthew has become a member as well. Nice, Matthew. Oh, no, Matthew did it. Sorry, Matthew. Kevin did. Kevin, thank you so much for joining the membership. The membership is new, so welcome aboard. Good to have you, Kevin. All right, let's spin the wheel, blah. Let's spin it. Let's see what we're going to land on, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Nice username. Oh, we've got dice, dice, baby. Dun, 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 dun. All right, blah, blah. So what this means is I've got this dice here. It's pretty big. If I roll a 1 to a 3, it's a victory. You get a t-shirt, all right? If I roll a 4 to 6, then I'm sorry, it ain't it, all right? You don't win a t-shirt. So let's hope for a 1 to a 3 with blah, 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 blah. All right, so let's get this. Oh, about to knock over the wheel. Not the wheel. All right, let's get this chair out of the way. All right, here we go. We're going to roll the dice, see what we land on today. Here we go. Dice, dice, baby. Oh, man. We landed on a 6, blah, blah, which means I'm sorry, you did not win a t-shirt, but we've got so much time left. Plenty of chances again to win a t-shirt, so stick around. We still have 3 t-shirts to win. So many more trivia questions to ask. So let's keep going. All right, let's get this wheel back in frame. There we go. Put the dice down. And let's keep going. All right. Here is the next question. What SNES RPG villain was named Kefka? What was the name of that SNES RPG game? All right, first to say Final Fantasy III is Master Quan. That is correct. Master Quan. First point in round 2. Nice work, Master Quan. Now, just a reminder, no abbreviations, all right? No abbreviations. Oh, Matthew. Welcome, Matthew, to the OG 90s crew membership. Thank you, Matthew. Whoop, whoop. We need applause for that. Thank you, Matthew. That's awesome. All right. Very cool. All right, here we go. Here's the next question. What mall clothing store sold alternative clothing and band merchandise? What was the name of that store? Band is Life says, thank you, Matthew. Yes, thank you, Matthew. Band is Life is very supportive as well. I love how you're so encouraging, Band is Life. All right, first to say hot topic is Sarah. That is correct. Sarah has got a point in round 2. Nice work. Here is the next question. What animated Cartoon Network show followed 3 super-powered girls created accidentally by Professor Utonium? What was the name of that show? What's up, Charles? Good to see you, Charles. Oh, you guys are quick. First to say Powerpuff Girls is the captain. That is correct. The captain is on the board. Nice work, Captain. All right. Here is the next question. What toy brand made the iconic foam dart blasters? What was that toy brand in the 90s, that big one? All right, first to say Nerf is Sarah. That is correct. Sarah, that's your second point this round. Nice work, Sarah. All right, here's the next question. What classic arcade game featured a maze-running yellow character eating dots? Thomas says, go, Sarah, go. I know, Sarah's on fire again. Sarah was on fire last week as well. All right, the first to say Pac-Man is the captain. That is correct. Oh, this is interesting. So I have asked 5 questions. There are 2 people who have tied for first, Sarah and the captain, which means Sarah and the captain, what I'm going to do to pick the winner is I'm going to read a tiebreaker trivia question. The first person who gets it correct out of you 2 gets to play the mini game, okay? So, Sarah and Captain, this trivia question is for you. All right. No abbreviations. What boy band had the hit, I Want It That Way? What boy band had the hit, I Want It That Way? What was the name of that band? Oh, y'all are both so quick on that. But Sarah got it a little bit faster. Sarah. Guess what, Sarah? You know what this means? There we go. There we go. There's the audience. Sarah, congratulations. You have won round 2. Whoop, whoop. Everyone give it up for Sarah. Let's see that fire emoji. Now, Sarah, I'm going to spin the wheel. If you land on this 80sTees tab or this 80sTees tab, you will instantly win a t-shirt. Otherwise, we will play a mini game. If you win that mini game, then you will win this Nintendo 64 t-shirt or this Power Ranger t-shirt or this Powerline t-shirt, all from 80stees.com. So let's spin the wheel. Is it going to land on 80sTees? Let's see. Let's see. Oh, we've got roll 95. Sarah, how this game will work is, I've got this dice here. It's pretty simple. If I roll a 5, then you win a t-shirt. If I do not roll a 5, then you don't win a t-shirt. That's it. So hopefully I can roll a 5 today. Let's see if we can roll a 5. All right, let's do it. Can we roll a 5? Here we go. What have we rolled here? We have rolled a 3. I'm sorry, Sarah, but you have not won the mini game, which means, Sarah, we will have to keep playing trivia in order for you to win a t-shirt, and everyone else in here. We still have 3 t-shirts up for grabs tonight. Still a lot of time left, 40 minutes. So let's keep playing. And let's see who will win this first t-shirt. All right, here we go. Next question. What Sega Genesis beat-em-up series featured characters Axel, Blaze, and Skate? All right, first to say Streets of Rage is Austin. That is correct. Austin has the first point for round 3. Nice work, Austin. All right, here is the next question. What actor played Neo in The Matrix? What was the name of that actor? Who was Neo in The Matrix? Remember, last names only are acceptable. First names only are not. First to say Keanu Reeves is Austin. That is correct. Austin, 2 points for you this round. All right, here's the next question. What metal band fronted by Corey Taylor released their debut album in 1999? Salted Tools says, isn't there only one Keanu? That's a good point, Salted Tools. All right, first to say Slipknot is Mugen. That is correct. Mugen. Nice work, Mugen. All right, next question. What 1994 movie follows a man who accidentally influences major historical events while running across America? What was the name of this movie? Kickin' Rocks with Forrest. Oh, sorry, Kickin' Rocks. That's not the name of the movie. So 99 Jar Binks was the first to say Forrest Gump. That is correct. 99 Jar Binks on the board. Nice work. All right. Here's the next question. What Nickelodeon game show host presented Legends of the Hidden Temple? What was that host's name? Last names only are acceptable. First names only are not. Nick says, life is like a box of chocolates. That's right, Nick. All right, first to say Kirk Fogg is Kyle Liston. That is correct. Kyle has got a point. Now, I have asked 5 questions. There is a winner this round, Austin. Congratulations, Austin. My audience isn't working tonight. There we go. Woo! Everybody give Austin the fire emoji. Nice work, Austin. Austin, you get a chance to win one of these t-shirts tonight. We've got N64, we've got Power Rangers, and we've got Powerline, all from 80sTees.com. So, Austin, what I'm going to do, I'm going to spin the wheel. If you land on this 80sTees tab or this 80sTees tab, you will instantly win one of those t-shirts. Otherwise, if you land on a mini game and you win that mini game, then you will win a t-shirt. So, we've got Roll 95 again. The wheel is loving us tonight. All right, Austin, how this game works is I will roll this dice. If you land on a 5, then you win. If you land on any other number, then you do not win. All right. So let's roll the dice. Let's do it. See if luck is on your side tonight, Austin. We know skill is, but is luck? Let's see. Oh, we have rolled a 1. Austin, I'm sorry, man, you have not won a t-shirt. But Austin and everyone else, we still have a lot of trivia left. We still have 3 t-shirts left. So let's keep playing and see who's going to win one of these t-shirts. All right. Here we go. Luck is not on our side tonight, but maybe it'll start picking up. Let's see. All right. Round 4. Next 5 questions. Here we go. What SNES game starred bounty hunter Samus Aran battling space pirates? What was the name of that game? All right, first you say Super Metroid is Mr. E. That is correct. Mr. E on the board. Nice work, Mr. E. All right, here is the next question. What 1990 Christmas movie featured a young boy defending his house with elaborate traps against burglars? What is the name of that movie? Raphael. First two say Home Alone. That is correct. Raphael has got a point. Nice work, Raphael. Lots of you got that one. Not surprised. All right, here's the next question. What neon green citrus soda introduced in the 90s developed a cult following before being discontinued? What was the name of that drink? All right. First to say Surge is Sarah. Nice work, Sarah. Sarah's making her comeback. She's making her comeback. All right, here is the next question. What Nickelodeon cartoon featured a wallaby named Rocco dealing with everyday life? What was the name of that cartoon? The full name of that cartoon? Oh, a lot of autocorrect got you guys here. So first to say Rocco's Modern Life is Jared. That is correct. Jared, nice work. Jared is on the board. All right, here's the next question. What basketball video game made the phrase boom shakalaka famous? What was the name of that video game? Boom shakalaka. All right, first to say NBA Jam is Austin. That is correct. Austin is on the board. Now, I have asked 5 questions. There is no clear winner, so we will keep going until there is a winner, okay? Next question. What sitcom featured the nerdy character Steve Urkel? What sitcom featured the character Steve Urkel? Ooh. First to say Family Matters is Kyle Liston. That is correct. Go, Kyle. Go, Kyle. Go. Nice work, Kyle. All right, here's the next question. What rock band released the punk hit Basket Case in the mid-90s? What was the name of that band? Oh, Sarah's quick. Sarah's quick to say Green Day. That is correct. Sarah. Sarah. Congratulations, Sarah. You have won round 4, which means, Sarah, you get another chance to spin that wheel and win a t-shirt from 80sTees. Now, the t-shirts that we have up for grab tonight, Sarah, are this N64 t-shirt, this Power Rangers t-shirt, and this Powerline t-shirt, so you can stand out. All from 80sTees.com. Thank you, 80sTees. So let's spin the wheel. Again, if you land on the 80sTees tab, you will instantly win a shirt. Otherwise, we will play a game. If you win that game, you will win a shirt, Sarah. Oh, so close to the 80sTee, but we've got high-low G.I. Joe, Sarah. All right, so what I'm going to do, Sarah, I'm going to give this deck a shuffle. Let me catch up. There we go. We're going to give this a shuffle. And I'm going to split the deck. I've cut an 8, Sarah. So, Sarah, you've got to tell me whether the card here is higher or lower than an 8. If you guess correctly, then you will win a t-shirt. So, Sarah, is this card higher or lower than an 8? All right, Sarah says lower. Is this card right here lower than an 8 Oh, it is lower than an 8. It is a 5, which means congratulations, Sarah. Whoop, whoop, whoop. You have won a t-shirt from 80sTees.com. Nice work, Sarah. So everybody put that fire emoji for Sarah. Sarah, after this trivia is over, just message me on Instagram, tara.town, or Facebook, tara.town, and we will get you hooked up with your prize. All right? Nice work, Sarah. Whoop, whoop. Now, we do have 2 more t-shirts to win tonight. We've got half an hour left. So let's keep playing. Again, just a reminder, if you have won a t-shirt, you can keep playing with us, but you can't win another t-shirt. All right? So just an FYI, once you won one, that's all you can win for the night. So let's keep going with round 5 with the next 5 trivia questions. Let's see who's going to win this round. Here we go. First question. What island served as the dinosaur theme park located in Jurassic Park? All right. Kyle Liston, first to say Isla Nublar, that is correct. Kyle is on the board again. Kyle makes his way on the board quite a bit in our trivia games. All right, here's the next question. What Sega Genesis RPG featured a hero named Max leading the Shining Force? What was the name of the game? I'm good, Adam. How are you? Good to see you. All right, Master Quan, first you say Shining Force. That is correct. Master Quan is on the board again. Nice work, Master Quan. All right, here is the next question. What British rock band released the hit song Wonderwall? What was the British rock band that released the song Wonderwall? All right, first to say Oasis is The Captain. That is correct. The Captain is on the board for round 5. Captain. Good job, Captain. All right, here we go. Next question. What wrestling faction included Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and Chyna? Where's my wrestling fans out there? All right, first to say D Generation X is The Captain. That is correct, Captain. That is 2 points for you this round. Here is the next question. What PC messaging service featured the iconic sound of a door opening when a friend logged in? What was the name of that messaging service? All right, first to say AIM is AOL Instant Messenger. Salted Tools, that is correct. Nice work, Salted Tools. Now, I have asked 5 questions. There is a winner. The Captain. Congratulations, The Captain. You have won round 5, which means, Captain, you get a chance to win one of these t-shirts that we have up for grabs tonight. We've got the N64 t-shirts. We've got this Power Rangers t-shirts. And we've got this Powerline t-shirt. So what we'll do, Captain, is we will spin the wheel. If you land on this 80sTees tab or this 80sTees tab, you will instantly win a t-shirt. Otherwise, we will play a mini game. If you win that mini game, then you will win a t-shirt, Captain. So let's see where it's going to land. Manny, thank you for the high five, Manny. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Manny. All right, what if we land on? We land on high-low G.I. Joe again. So, Captain, what we're going to do, we're going to give this deck a shuffle. Let's split this deck. Oh, Captain, I have pulled a 4 from the deck. Captain, you got to tell me whether this card underneath the 4 is higher or lower than a 4. If you guess correctly, then you will win a t-shirt. Captain, is this card higher or lower than a 4? Captain is saying, please be higher. All right, let's see if this card is higher than a 4. Is this card higher than a 4? Oh, it is much higher than a 4, which means Captain, congratulations, Captain. You have won a t-shirt from 80sTees.com. Nice work, Captain. After this trivia is over, message me on Facebook, Tara Town, or Instagram, Tara.town, to claim your prize. All right. Now, we've got one more t-shirt left, guys. We've got one more t-shirt left to win. We've got nearly 20 minutes, 25 minutes left of trivia. So let's keep playing. Let's see who's going to win that last t-shirt. All right. We are now in round 6. Here is the next 5 questions. Who's going to win these next 5 questions? Let's see. All right. What monster wrestler debuted in 1997, ripping the door off the Hell in a Cell structure? What was that wrestler's name? All right, Jared Derrickson, first you say Kane, that is correct. Jared, nice work. Jared is on the board. Here we go. Next question. What NFL team did Deion Sanders play for when he won the Super Bowl in 1996? What NFL team was that? Kyle Liston, first to say the Dallas Cowboys. That is correct. Kyle is on the board. Nice work, Kyle. All right, here is the next question. What Nickelodeon show featured kids competing in extreme physical challenges like climbing the Aggro Crag? What was the name of that show? All right, first to say guts is Raphael. That is correct. Raphael. Nice work, Raphael. All right, here is the next question. What handheld digital pet toy competed directly with Tamagotchi in the late 90s? What was that handheld digital pet toy called? John Baher. Is that how you say your name, John? John, first you say Gigapet. That is correct. John Baher? Hopefully that's how you pronounce your name, John. All right, here's the next question. Make sure you type out the full name of this show that I'm going to say. What animated superhero series followed Bruce Wayne secretly protecting Gotham City as Batman? Type out that full name of the show. What was it? Mel Blanc, first to say Batman, the animated series. That is correct. Mel Blanc is on the board for round 6. Now, I have asked up. I can't speak today. I have asked 5 questions, but there is no clear winner, so I'll continue asking questions. Whoever gets the most points again will win this round. Next question. What color cartridge was Donkey Kong 64 famous for? All right, first to say yellow is Dan O'Hazy. That is correct. Dan is on the board. Still no clear winner, so let's keep going. What mall store was famous for selling posters, lava lamps, and backlight items? Blacklight items. What was the name of that store? Mel Blanc. First to say Spencer's, that is correct. Mel Blanc. That is your second point this round, which means Mel Blanc. Congratulations, Mel. You have won round 6 of our trivia night. Whoop, whoop. Nice work, Mel. So, Mel, I'm going to spin the wheel. If you land on this 80sTees tab or this 80sTees tab, you will instantly win one of our t-shirts. We've got N64, Powerline, or Power Rangers. Otherwise, we will play a mini game. If you win that mini game, you will win a t-shirt. Mel Blanc. So, Mel, let's see where your fate lies in our wheel. Oh, the wheel is like in our dice games today. We've got dice, dice, baby. Do, 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 do. All right. So, Mel Blanc, I've got this dice here. If I roll a 1, 2, a 3, it's a victory. You get a t-shirt. Otherwise, if I roll a 4 to a 6, then I'm sorry. It ain't it. All right? So let's see if we can roll a 1, 2, a 3 for you tonight. Here we go. 1, 2, a 3. It's a victory. Can we roll? Let's wait and see. That's my rhyme for today. Dr. Seuss style. Oh! Mel Blanc, can you see that in the frame? I don't think you can. Mel Blanc, we did it. We did it. We did it, Mel Blanc. Congratulations, Mel Blanc. You have won a t-shirt from 80stees.com. Mel Blanc. Nice work, Mel Blanc. After this trivia is over, just message me on Tara.town on Instagram or TaraTown on Facebook, and we will get you hooked up with your shirt. Nice work. Now, everyone, we have already won all 3 t-shirts tonight, but we still have 15 minutes left of trivia. So we're going to keep playing trivia, even though we do not have any more t-shirts, because trivia is fun and it brings back all the nostalgic memories. So please stick around. Please stay with us. We're going to keep going, see who's going to win the next few rounds until our trivia night is over. All right. Here we go. Here is the next question. What actor played Zach Morris in Saved by the Bell? Again, last names only are acceptable. First names only are not. Who was the name of that actor? Jackie Chan. Not Jackie Chan. We've got Aaron, first to say Mark Paul Gosselaar. That is correct. Aaron is the first point for round 7. Nice work, Aaron. All right, here's the next question. What 1998 MLB team won 114 games in a historic season? What was the name? All right, first to say New York Yankees is Mike Nike. Mike Nike. That is correct, Mike. You've got the second point for round 7. Nice work. All right, here is the next question. What character says, "Get over here" in Mortal Kombat? All right, first to say Scorpion is Master Quan. That is correct. Master Quan is on the board. Nice work, Master Quan. All right. One moment, sorry. All right. What rapper was known by the alter ego Slim Shady? What was the name of that rapper? Who was Slim Shady? Race Everything with Eminem. That is correct. Race Everything is on the board. Nice work, Race Everything. All right, next question. What arcade fighting game featured characters like Fulgor and Jago? What was the name of that fighting game? Master Quan with Killer Instinct. That is correct. Master Quan. Congratulations, Master Quan. You have won round 7. Nice work, Master Quan. I do not have any more t-shirts, Master Quan, but let's spin the wheel anyway, and let's see if you can win a mini game anyway. All right, so we're gonna spin the wheel. Let's see what mini game we're gonna land on tonight, Master Quan. Man, Dice Baby again. We are on the Dice Baby tonight. Dun, 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 dun. All right, Master Quan, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna roll this dice. If you land on a 1, 2, or 3, it's a victory. If you land on a 4 to a 6, then I'm sorry, it ain't it. All right. So let's get this out of the way. Let's roll the dice, Master Quan, and let's see what it's gonna land on. All right, here we go. Master Quan, Master Quan, Master Quan. I'm sorry, but it landed on a 5, which means, Master Quan, you did not win this mini game, but it's okay because you still won round 7, which is awesome. Good job, Master Quan. Now, Master Quan says, no. It's all right, Master Quan. You still won round 7. You still won. So we've got 10 minutes left of trivia. So let's keep playing and see who will win the next couple of rounds. All right. Here we go. Round 8. Let's do this. Round 8. What 1992 arcade fighting game introduced the character Chun-Li? What fighting game introduced the character Chun-Li? All right, first to say Street Fighter 2 is Master Quan. Master Quan. Another point for you, Master Quan. That is correct. Nice work, Master Quan. All right, here is the next question. What company created Sonic the Hedgehog? We'll give you an easy one. What company created Sonic the Hedgehog? Oh, Sarah. First to say Sega. That is correct. Sarah is on the board. Nice work, Sarah. All right, next question. What Nickelodeon cartoon followed a football-headed boy navigating childhood? One of my favorites. Thomas says, go, Sarah. That's it. Oh, Sarah on fire again. Sarah says, hey, Arnold. That is correct, Sarah. That is another point for you, Sarah. All right, here is the next question. What Nickelodeon sketch comedy show starred kids performing outrageous skits in the 90s? What was the name of that show? Oh, Sarah almost got it. But Benny's got a pun. No, not Benny's got a pun. Sorry, Benny's got a pun. Benny Blanco. Benny Blanco, first to say all that. That is correct. Benny Blanco on the board for round 8. Nice work, Benny Blanco. All right, next question. What animated show on one Saturday morning followed a group of elementary school friends during recess? What was the name of that show? Favorite show of mine on one Saturday morning. Sarah, first to say recess. That is correct. Sarah is on fire. Sarah, you have won. Round 8. Nice work, Sarah. Now, I don't have any t-shirts, and you've already won a t-shirt. But Sarah, let's spin the wheel and see if you can win one of our mini games tonight, Sarah. You've already won one. You've lost one. We've got Dice Baby again. Sarah, this is the time to win the Dice Baby. Get your revenge. All right, so if I roll a 1 to a 3, it's a victory. If I roll a 4 to a 6, then I'm sorry, it ain't it. All right, so let's do it. Dice Baby seems to be the game tonight, doesn't it? A lot of rolling the dice tonight. Let's see here. No. We keep rolling 5s tonight. Sarah, it's a 5, which means, Sarah, I'm sorry. You did not win this mini game. However, you have won round 8, which is awesome. You have won a t-shirt, which is also awesome. So Sarah's kind of killing it tonight. Nice work, Sarah. Nice work, Sarah. Nice work. Now, we've got 7 more minutes left of our trivia tonight. So stick around for the next 5 questions. Let's see who's going to win our final round. All right, round 9. Here we go. Round 9. Fight. What Disney animated movie featured the villain Scar? What was the name of that Disney movie? All right, first to say Master Quan is Lion King. That is correct. Master Quan, racking up these points over here, Master Quan. Nice work. All right, here's the next question. What Cartoon Network show featured a superhero hosting a bizarre late-night talk show in space? This is a long one to type, so good luck. May the autocorrect be in your favor. Oh, Sarah. Sarah again. Space Ghost. Coast to Coast. That is correct, Sarah. on the board. Nice work, Sarah. All right, next question. What mall accessory store sold friendship bracelets, hair clips, and small gifts? One of my faves back in the day. I think it's still around as well. Okay, I think this is one that is playing up. So I'm going to have to go to my laptop screen to see if it shows the correct. One moment. Yeah, it is playing up on my phone, but on my laptop it is showing clear as day. Sarah. Sarah's the first to say Claire's. That is correct. Sarah, another point for you. Round 9. Sarah's on fire. All right, next question. What mall retailer was known for its preppy clothing and moose logo? What was that mall retailer who had the moose logo? Austin was close, but you forgot the B there, Austin. Almost. So, Jared, first you say Abercrombie & Fitch. That is correct, Jared. Nice work, Jared. All right. Here is the next question. What store specialized in sport jerseys and hats in many 90s malls? What was that popular store name in the 90s? This one, okay, I'm actually going to throw this one out. This one can actually be a lot of things, so scratch that one. Okay, next question. What mall store featured interactive demonstrations and a life-size giraffe mascot? All right, first you say Toys R Us is Sarah. Sarah, girl, you are on fire. Sarah has won round 9. Congratulations, Sarah. Whoop, whoop. Sarah, you just can't stop winning, can you? All right, Sarah, so all the shirts have already been won, but we will keep spinning the wheel. We're going to play a mini game. Let's see where Sarah's going to land. Let's see what game Sarah's going to play. Sarah is laying on the 80sTees tab, so we're going to spin the wheel again because Sarah has already won a t-shirt tonight. So Sarah's got the 90s queen. No one's landed on this game tonight, Sarah, so it's good. You've landed on this one. Give us, I think that is most of the games. We didn't get hot or not tonight. Okay, Sarah, so I've got 3 cards here. One of them is the 90s queen, all right? Is she hiding behind 1, 2, or 3? If you guess correctly, then you will win this mini game. Sarah, where is the 90s queen hiding? Where is she? Sarah says 2. Okay, let's see if she is hiding behind 2. First, let's see if she's hiding behind 3. She's not hiding behind 3. Is she hiding behind number 1? She's not hiding behind number 1, which means Sarah. Sarah is on fire. Let's see that fire emoji. Nice work, Sarah. Congratulations, Sarah. You have won this mini game. Nice work, Sarah. Sarah's got a t-shirt tonight. Captain won a t-shirt tonight. Mel Blanc won a t-shirt tonight. That is our alarm to alert us that trivia is now over, y'all. What? This trivia went by so quickly tonight. Nice work, everyone. Thank you so much for playing our trivia tonight. If you want to do trivia again, we'll do it next Thursday, 8 o'clock Central. Same time, same place. Different t-shirts, though. Otherwise, we will have an after party in just a few minutes here. The after party where we will be on live for a couple of hours and talk some nostalgia and other random things that we get into on our lives. Yesterday, we did some cooking. We went outside, showed you a bit of Australian wildlife. And we also did some 90s dancing, singing to 90s songs. So you never know what we're going to get into with these lives. So please join our lives. They're a lot of fun. We do our lives every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday between the hours of 8 p.m. and 12 a.m. Central Time. All right. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one in the videos. Did you guys have fun? Let me know. Joseph says, whoop, whoop, cooking was tight. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Joseph. It was so much fun. Wasn't planning on cooking, but, you know, that's where the night took us. Thomas says, see you in a little bit. Okay, sounds good, Thomas. Now, again, if you haven't checked out 80sTees.com, they've got so many nostalgic shirts on there. So if you do like the t-shirts that I'm wearing in my videos, or if you like nostalgic t-shirts in general, 80sTees is your place. Again, thank you, Kevin. Let's give it up for Kevin. Kevin, woo! Thank you, Kevin, for donating the t-shirts for our games every Thursday. Such a gem. Very nice of Kevin to do. So thank you, Kevin. Keith says, a lot of fun. I got to join the live this time. Definitely, Keith. Definitely. Good to see you in here, Keith. Yes. Beauregard says, I saved the channel so you know. That's good, Beauregard. That's good. And if you guys turn on your notifications, then that will alert you when our lives are or when the trivia is. So make sure you turn on your notifications and subscribe. That will notify you when we're going live. Yeah. So Kevin Spence says, Kevin rocks. That's it. How many Kevins are in here? Are there a lot of Kevins in here? Superbird says, I missed it because I'm at work. Oh no, Superbird. Well, that's okay. Maybe you can make it to the next one. If not, I'm sure you'll make another one of the lives. But good to see you in here, Superbird. Thanks for popping in. Seraph says, Tara, 2 days in a row. What a gift. What a gift to see you guys 2 days in a row. This is cool. I like our 90s crew over here. Y'all are awesome. Y'all are awesome. Chris says, I came in late. I fell asleep. Oh no, Chris. You're going to have a hard time sleeping tonight, probably, after taking a nap at night, or at least I find I do. So, Shannon says, today is my birthday. Happy birthday, Audrey. Happy birthday. Thanks for joining our live on your birthday. Todd says, class of 99. Oh, who's the class of 99 in here? Everybody's wishing Audrey happy birthday. Happy birthday, Audrey. All right, y'all. So I am going to end this trivia live, all right? I'm going to end the trivia live, but don't go away, because in 5 minutes, we will go and do our after party hangout. Y'all ready? Y'all ready for this? Dun, 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 dun. Starseed, thank you for the Sunday, Starseed. Much appreciated. Very kind of you. Good to see you, Starseed. All right. We're going to end this live. I'll see you guys in 5 minutes for the after party. Whoop, whoop. All right. Thank you for playing. I'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.